So yeah, my name's Olivia, and I'm 28. Honestly, I'm still trying to process all of it. Like, even now, it feels like it happened to someone else. It's just a lot. And the worst part is, people keep trying to tell me what I should be feeling, like I'm supposed to be some puddle of tears, as if they know anything. It started like a lot of our fights did. You know, just small stuff, little digs that pile up. It was a Saturday. One of those mornings where the light feels too bright. He was on the couch, laptop open, scrolling through work stuff, even though it was the weekend. I was making coffee. And the thing is, he always leaves his mug by the sink, right? I've asked him a million times. It's just a pet peeve. It takes 2 seconds to put it in the dishwasher, but he just doesn't. So I saw it there, with a little coffee ring on the counter, and I just sort of sighed a little too loud. What? He said, not even looking up. His name is Noah, by the way, and I don't know, he's just always been so serious. Even when we first started dating, he was always so focused on his career, on his 5-year plan. He's a good guy, I guess. He's not a bad person, but he's boring. Like a beige wall. Nothing, I said, and slammed the mug I was holding on the counter a little harder than I meant to. That got his attention. Don't do that, he said, and closed his laptop with a snap. It's too early for this. For what? For me to want you to put your mug away, I asked. My voice was already getting that edge to it. I couldn't help it. It just happens. It's a mug. Olivia, you're being dramatic. That's his favorite line. You're being dramatic? He says it like it's a fact, like it's a diagnosis. It's always me being dramatic, never him being inconsiderate. You're right, I said, and I felt my cheeks get hot. You're right. A mug is nothing. But what about the fact that you haven't looked at me all morning? What about the fact that you spend more time talking to your boss on the weekends than you do to me? He just looked at me, and I saw that exhausted look in his eyes, the one he gets when he feels like he's already given up. I'm trying to work. It's a busy time. It's always a busy time, I shot back. It's always something, and when you're not working, you're just there like a ghost. Do you even like me anymore? That one hit him. I could see it. He flinched just a little, but he didn't answer. He never does. He just gets quiet. And that's even worse. The silence is louder than anything we could ever yell at each other. That's when I saw his dog, a little mutt named Buster, sniffing around the back door. Buster was his dog, not mine. Noah got him before we were together, and he was always more attached to Buster than he was to me. It felt like he'd talk to that dog in this baby voice, and Buster would look at him with these big, sad eyes, like he understood every word. It just made me crazy. I never really liked the dog. I mean, he's fine, but he sheds, and he smells like dog, and he's always in the way. In that moment, seeing Buster sitting there looking all pathetic, I saw red. I don't know why. It was the last straw, I guess. The silence, the mug, the dog. All of it just boiled over. You know what? I said, and I walked over to the back door, grabbed the handle, and threw it open. Go on, Buster. Go. Noah's head snapped up. Olivia, what are you doing? He wants to go out. Noah, I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. He's bored, just like me. Go on. Buster, be free. And Buster, bless his little dumb heart, didn't need to be told twice. He shot out the door and into the backyard, a little blur of brown fur. But here's the thing. We live in a townhouse. Right. The backyard is a fence. But the gate? The latch has been broken for months. Noah was supposed to fix it. But bizarre. Noah saw it too. His eyes widened, and he launched himself off the couch. The gate, Olivia, the gate. But I just stood there, my arms crossed. Why don't you go get him? Noah, you can fix the latch while you're at it. He didn't even look at me. He just ran out the door, yelling Buster's name. I heard him call for him once, twice, and then the yelling stopped. A few minutes went by, and then more. I started to get a little nervous, not for Buster, for Noah, because I knew deep down this was a line I'd crossed. I just didn't want to admit it. When he finally came back inside, he looked different, not angry, not even sad, just empty. His shoulders were slumped. His face was pale, and he had that look of a person who's just realized something devastating. He's gone, he said. His voice was flat, no emotion. It was almost more frightening than him screaming at me. I can't find him. The gate was open. I drove around for a while. Nothing. And I didn't know what to say. I knew I should say something. I should apologize. I should pretend to be upset. But all I could feel was this weird, cold satisfaction. I had finally broken through that wall of his. I had made him feel something, even if it was misery. He spent the rest of the day looking for Buster. He put up signs. He called the shelters. He even went door to door with a picture of the dog. And I just stayed inside. I watched a movie. I scrolled through my phone. I told myself it was his fault for not fixing the gate. It was his fault for being so distant. It was his fault for having a dog that he loved more than me. I told myself a lot of things to make it okay. A few days later, a Tuesday, I was grabbing a coffee with my friend, Chloe. She's one of my few friends who isn't completely obsessed with her boyfriend or husband, so she gets it. She's a little high-strung, always talking about her new keto diet or her spin class, but she's reliable. I was telling her about the fight and how Buster ran off. I made it sound like it was this funny, ridiculous thing, like I was the victim of Noah's neglect. So he's still gone? Chloe asked, taking a sip of her latte. Yeah, whatever, he'll turn up, I said, waving my hand dismissively. Noah's a wreck. Though, it's actually kind of, I don't know. He's finally paying attention to me, you know. And I saw Chloe give me this look. Not a judgmental look. Just a look, like she was trying to figure me out. That's a lot, she said, carefully. I'm sorry, that just sounds really intense. It's just how we are, I said, shrugging. We've been together for so long, you get used to it. I was in the middle of telling her about this one time he forgot my birthday when my phone buzzed. It was a picture message from Noah. My stomach dropped a little. I had barely talked to him since Saturday. I opened the message and I saw it. It was a picture of him smiling, but not at the camera. He was looking at his hand, and on his finger was a ring, a man's ring, a simple silver band. But in the background, out of focus, I could see a flash of gold, and sitting on a table in front of him, right next to a full glass of red wine, was a small, black velvet box. It was open, and inside, a solitaire diamond ring sparkled under the restaurant lights. My breath caught in my throat. My heart started to hammer against my ribs. I looked at the picture again, and I saw his face. He looked happy, truly happy, not that tired, exhausted look I was used to. It was the kind of smile I hadn't seen in years. Before I could even process it, another message came through. We found him. He's home safe. Look at this. Chloe. My friend found him. I blinked. Chloe? The text wasn't for me. He had sent it to Chloe. He had sent the picture of the ring he had never given me. To my friend? I felt all the air leave my lungs. I looked at Chloe, who was just innocently scrolling on her phone, oblivious to the bomb that had just been dropped on me. Hey, I said, my voice coming out thin and reedy. Did Noah just send you a picture? Chloe looked up, startled. Oh, yeah. He just messaged me a picture of Buster. Thank God. He was so upset. A woman found him a few blocks away. He says she's a vet tech and a volunteer at the shelter. She's been helping him look, and then she stopped because she looked at my face. She saw the picture on my phone, the one I was still holding up, shaking. Her eyes widened, and she looked from my phone to hers, and back again. She saw the open ring box, the bottle of wine, the smiling, happy man. Oh, my God, she whispered. Her face went pale. Olivia, I didn't know. He sent it to you, I stammered, my mind racing. The rings? He was going to propose to me. That's why he was so busy. He was planning it, and now he's showing it to you. Chloe didn't say anything. She just kept looking at the picture, and then at me, and I could see the puzzle pieces clicking into place for her. The distance, the busy schedule, the fact that I let his dog out, it all made sense. He was trying to get a moment alone to do it, I said, the words tumbling out of me. He was going to do it that day. I know it. He never found the right time because of me. A few more messages came through on Chloe's phone, and she showed them to me without a word. They were from Noah. He was telling her all about the woman who found Buster, a woman named Avery. He said she was kind and smart, and that she had given him a lot of perspective. He was talking about her like he had already moved on. I felt a cold rage bubble up inside me. How could he tell my friend all of this? How could he show her the ring he had bought for me? It was like he was rubbing it in my face, using Chloe as his messenger. I grabbed my purse and stood up. I have to go, I said, my voice sharp. I can't be here right now. Chloe just watched me go, her expression a mix of shock and pity. I hated the pity. I drove home in a daze. The whole world felt off-kilter. When I got to the house, it was quiet. Too quiet. I found Noah in the kitchen, sitting at the table, just staring at his hands. I saw the silver band on his finger. The one from the picture. What is this? I said, throwing my purse on the counter with a loud thud. You're sending pictures of an engagement ring to my friends. What is wrong with you? He looked up at me, and his eyes were still empty, but I saw a flicker of something new, a resolve, a finality. She wasn't your friend, Olivia, he said, his voice low. She was my friend. She's the one who found him. She's the one who called me. She's a vet tech. She's the one who told me that a dog like Buster needs someone to take care of him. I felt my heart sink into my stomach. He wasn't talking about Chloe. He was talking about the woman, Avery, the one who found his dog, the one who he was showing the ring to. I went to Avery's house to thank her, he said, his voice still that chillingly calm monotone. And we were talking, and I told her about everything, about the ring, and about how I had planned to propose that morning. I was going to do it, Olivia. I had it all set up. But then you let him out. It felt like you were trying to punish me. I was upset. I yelled, my voice cracking. You were ignoring me? Was I? He asked, and he finally looked me in the eyes. Or was I just a guy who was trying to make sure I had my life together before I asked you to marry me? I was trying to make everything perfect, and you just kept finding ways to break it. He paused, and he looked down at the ring box on the table. It was still closed, but I knew what was inside. I was going to propose to you, Olivia, and then I went to her house, and she told me that a dog like Buster needs someone to be there for him, someone who will pay attention to him, and in that moment, I realized she wasn't just talking about Buster. She was talking about me, and the truth is, I don't think you ever really wanted to be there for me. My mind was reeling. He was making me sound like a monster. He was trying to turn this into some kind of fairy tale where he was the knight and she was the princess who saved his dog. So you're just going to leave? I asked, my voice shaking, just like that, because of a dog. It was never about the dog. Olivia, he said, and he finally stood up. He walked over to the closet in the hallway and grabbed a duffel bag from the shelf. It's about everything. It's about the mug, and the silence, and the way you always make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. I couldn't believe it. He was actually leaving. He was leaving me. He wasn't packing a suitcase. He was just grabbing a bag, like he was going on a trip, a permanent trip. So what? You're just going to go be with some vet tech who found your stupid dog. I spat out, the words just coming out without me thinking. He didn't answer. He just looked at me, and I saw a flash of pity in his eyes. A flash of pity and a flash of something else. Something I had never seen before. A genuine, sincere, and profound sadness. I'm not going to be with anyone, Olivia, he said. I'm going to go to be myself. To be with someone who doesn't make me feel like I have to walk on eggshells all the time. To be with someone who just accepts me. He walked out the door and didn't look back. I didn't run after him. I didn't cry. I just stood there in the quiet house, and I felt this strange mixture of relief and terror. Relief that the constant tension was gone, and terror that I was alone. A few months went by, and it was hard. He cut off all contact. I would see him on social media sometimes, and it was always the same thing. Pictures of him and Buster, hiking or at the park. And sometimes there was a girl in the background, a pretty girl with long, dark hair and a bright smile, Avery. And I could tell by the way he was looking at her, and the way she was looking at him, that it was real. I tried to move on. I went on some dates, but every guy I met was just not Noah. They weren't him. They didn't have his quiet strength or his dry sense of humor. They were just guys. I ran into Chloe a few weeks ago at a cafe. She was with a friend, and they were talking and laughing. I saw her, and I had to talk to her. Hey, I said, walking up to the table. Chloe's face fell, just a little. Oh, hey, Olivia. How are you? I asked, trying to sound normal. I'm good, she said. And then she lowered her voice. Look, Olivia, I don't want to be mean, but I'm a little uncomfortable. Noah and I are still friends, and he's really happy. He's with Avery now, and I feel like I have to be loyal to him. My blood ran cold. Loyal to him? Chloe, I'm your friend. He's the one who was showing you the ring he was going to give me. Chloe sighed, and she looked at me with those same pitying eyes. He was showing it to me because he was so excited. He was so excited to propose to you. He was going to ask you to marry him, and you let his dog out. You didn't even care, and he saw that. I was upset. I insisted. He was ignoring me. Was he? Chloe asked, and she shook her head. Or was he just a guy trying to get his life together before he asked you to spend the rest of yours with him? Olivia, he told me that he spent a month's salary on that ring. He wanted it to be perfect, and you took that away from him. I felt my cheeks get hot. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She was taking his side. My own friend was taking his side. So you're just going to turn your back on me? I asked, my voice trembling. I'm not turning my back on you. Olivia, she said, her voice soft but firm. I'm choosing to be around people who are happy. And I'm choosing to not be around people who make me feel like I have to walk on eggshells. You're a good person, I think, but you're so hard on people, and you don't even see it. And with that, she went back to her friend. And I was left alone. I felt a wave of anger wash over me. How could she say that? How could she say I was a hard person? I was just myself. I was just honest. I left the cafe in a blur. I drove home, and I went straight to my laptop. I opened up social media, and I saw his profile. He had changed his status. It didn't say single. It didn't say in a relationship. It said engaged. And the picture was of him and Avery. She was smiling, and he was smiling, and his arm was around her, and she was wearing the ring. The ring he had bought for me, the ring he had shown to Chloe, the ring he had bought to ask me to marry him. And I just sat there. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt this emptiness, this cold, hollow emptiness that I had never felt before. It was a feeling of being completely and utterly alone. I had pushed everyone away. I had driven him away. I had driven my friends away. And now I was alone. I couldn't blame him. I couldn't blame Chloe. I couldn't blame the dog. I couldn't blame the woman. I couldn't blame anyone. And that was the most terrifying part. It was all my fault. And I knew it. But I still couldn't admit it. Because if I admitted that I was the one who had driven him away, if I admitted that I was the one who had let his dog out, if I admitted that I was the one who had made my life a living hell, then what was left? Who was I? I didn't know, and I didn't want to know. So I just sat there, and I told myself that they were all wrong, that they didn't know me, that they didn't understand. And I just kept telling myself that over and over until I almost believed it. But deep down, in the pit of my stomach, I knew the truth, and it was a truth I couldn't outrun. It was a truth I would have to live with for the rest of my life.